What's going on, everybody? I'm Jerry, and today I'm going to be going over my Week 8 picks, score predictions, and picks against the spread all in one video. A lot of people make separate videos trying to get more hours, more views, more videos, maybe shorter videos too. Maybe that's the benefit for them, but I like to include it all in one fast video just so you can get all the information quick and fast. So here we go. Let's get right into it. A lot of larger spreads this week. Starting off, I have the Buccaneers Bills. Playing in Buffalo. I do have the Buccaneers covering here. I actually changed this one right before I started the video. I saw that -8.5. Bills have been struggling. I think part of it is because you've got Matt Milano out. You got Trey White out. The Buccaneers have had a strong defense too. So you could argue this is a bit of a high score for a good game with two good defenses. But that's kind of how the Browns-Colts was last week. It was 39-38. Browns have one of the best defenses in the league, so I think it's possible. But I had the Bills covering, and then I changed it last minute just because I feel like at +8.5 for the Buccaneers, who, in my opinion, this year have looked better than we thought. And the Bills, who have kind of fallen off. And again, I think it does have something to do with the defense. Although Josh Allen's made some mistakes, I think it allows the other team to score more points. So I think the Buccaneers stay in this one, and I still definitely think the Bills could win, and they could cover. But I felt like I had to pick them, to cover the spread there. The helmet at the bottom, my logo is where I'm showing the spread pick. So -8.5. I'm taking the Buccaneers against the spread, but the Bills are still winning it. Next, we have Patriots Dolphins. This was another one where -9.5 from a Dolphins team that is very hit or miss. I think the Patriots schemed up a great defense to go against the Bills, and I don't know if the Patriots are going to have the speed to do that. But last week they used their pass rush a lot to kind of help put pressure on the quarterback, and I don't think Tua will do well under pressure. Still have some injuries over there. I believe Teron Armstead is still out, so that doesn't help any. But yeah, I think the Patriots could cover again. I really don't think they're going to win. I think it's pretty much for sure that the Dolphins are going to win. But I feel like it's a good opportunity for the Patriots against the spread. I don't know if I'd put money on this one, but I just feel like 9.5 is a lot of points. Patriots had their two 30-point blowouts, but I feel like they're going to be able to stay in games moving forward at the very least. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm kind of thinking this is high scoring too, but I put the Dolphins at 31. I originally had them covering, and then I changed it. I was like, 9.5 just seems like a lot, so I switched it last minute. I think just maybe somehow the Patriots are going to score 24. Maybe their defense gets some big turnovers and causes them to at least cover the spread. But Dolphins are winning 31-24, covering that, or not covering that 9.5 spread. Next we have Jets Giants. Not really a home game for anybody, being at their same stadium, but I do have the Jets winning this one and covering the spread. Although Giants have looked good in these past couple weeks, I just think with how low scoring the games are, I think the Giants defense will do well against the Jets. But you got to remember there's a lot of weapons over there, and Zach Wilson's been heating up. So even 17 points seems a little low for that offense recently. So I feel like that makes sense over there. I do think they're going to cover against the Giants. I think the offense looks better with Tyrod Taylor, but I don't think it's enough. You can only hand the ball to Saquon so many times. And so I think the Jets win this one 17-10, covering that 3-point spread. So they get my vote against the spread. Next we have Jaguars Steelers. Have the Jaguars taken this one down? Definitely tough one to pick though, with the Steelers down 2.5 at home. Remember, they're 4-2, so they've been playing well, but the Jaguars have been beating good teams too. So, had a good week last week against the Saints with a pretty big win there. So I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what the Steelers' offense is still. I had a little bit stronger game against in the run game last week that I think helped Kenny Pickett. And his passing to George Pickens. Believe they're getting Deontay Johnson back, so that's going to be a help. Or I think he should be healthy this week. So 27-20, I'm taking the Jaguars, covering the spread. I don't think the Steelers. It makes it tough though because they're at home. I don't know. I was very on the fence about this one. They very well could win this game. I just still don't believe in Kenny Pickett and the Jaguars. I feel like their defense is still still been pretty decent so far this year. So I'm taking the Jaguars 27-20 covering the 2.5-point spread. Next up, we have Eagles Commanders. I really don't think this is going to be close whatsoever. This would very well could be the what do they call it, the trap game for the Eagles. Going into Washington. I don't know if that really means anything. Plus 6.5 seemed kind of low to me. That's why I have it Eagles 35, Commanders 17, because I'm kind of banking on Sam Howell turning the ball over a decent amount. Eagles are going to get good field position and they're going to get points. I feel like the tush push is just unstoppable. So them knowing they can just get 3 yards every play and then could tush push it on 4th and 1, I just feel like it's going to be too easy against the Commanders. So I'm taking the Eagles 35-17, covering that spread by a mile. But, I mean, the only way they're really losing is that, you're calling it a trap game after, because something's going to happen where, the Eagles make a bunch of mistakes or the refs get them back for last week and all the calls go the Commanders' way, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. Sam Howell's going to play with heart, but I think the Eagles are going to win regardless and cover a small, in my opinion, 6.5-point spread. Next, we have Browns Seahawks. This was another one, smaller spread. I'm picking against the spread really because when I looked at this, I was like, Browns are winning games with PJ Walker against good football teams. 49ers, Colts, aren't amazing this year, but not a bad football team. So you kind of have to look like the spread's plus 3.5 for the Browns, who have been beating good teams. And then the Seahawks, Seahawks have looked good recently too, but kind of depended on that run game, which I feel like the Browns are going to be able to shut down a little bit. They're getting DK Metcalf back too, so between Metcalf, Lockett, JSN had a good week last week. We'll see what happens there. I really couldn't pick who was going to win this game, and honestly, I feel like if I pick, the score seems like it could be right. I don't think we're having another, 30, almost 40-point game back and forth. So 21-24 seems right, and I couldn't pick between the Seahawks, so I'm getting the winner correct if I pick the Seahawks. I'm getting the against the spread right if it's the Browns. So I'm fine with that. I really couldn't pick. So I think the Browns could win. I think the Seahawks could win. Had to go with the Seahawks in the end. I think maybe a little bit more complete team, and I can't imagine PJ Walker doing it 3 weeks in a row. So I think the Seahawks take it down 24-21. Moving on to the Ravens-Cardinals, this game is just, I feel like, probably similar score to the Ravens-Lions of last week, which seems crazy. I just think that was kind of a fluke. I think the Cardinals are going to score some points. I feel like something's going to happen to where they get points. I feel like holding a team to 6 points, that just doesn't happen very often. The Ravens have a great defense, but I feel like the Cardinals have done little things, and Josh Dobbs has had some odd decision making at times where, on that 25-yard touchdown run, sees the middle of the field open up, runs it right down the middle for a touchdown. So I think something like that could happen. I still think the Ravens are going to just kill them. And plus 8.5 seemed odd for me. I thought this was, when I looked at the lines, I was like, oh, Ravens Cardinals, this is going to be like 12-13, and it was plus 8.5. So maybe it's just because of the Cardinals and how they've been against the spread prior. Earlier in the season is probably what's doing that. But I'm taking the Ravens 34-10 and covering that, in my opinion, tiny 8.5 spread. Next, we have Chiefs-Broncos. They just played. It was 19-8 last time. I feel like 20-10 is a pretty solid score. Maybe the game could change, but I don't see it going much different. I don't see Sean Payton finding anything special that's going to make them do that much better. So I'm really just kind of copy-pasting from last game. If you watch that game, very, very close to this one too. So it just seems like it's going to be another 2010 game. I feel like the Broncos defense can make some plays. But yeah, I'm taking Chiefs 2010 covering 7.5 spread. And we'll see what happens though. Chiefs probably going to win that game. I don't know how you would bet against them there. This is another one, really, Bengals 49ers. I could really only pick the Bengals here covering the spread because you got Sam Darnold, you got Deebo Samuel's out, Trent Williams might not play, Christian McCaffrey is still good to go, still played well last week, not anything amazing, but had a pretty good week. So I just, you look at the matchup, there's Joe Burrow and Sam Darnold. Who do you think's going to win? The 49ers have a talented team. Coming off a loss, though, feel like their defense might be able to make some big plays. So I feel like I don't know. The 49ers, the team all around, in my opinion, is much better and has played significantly better this year to where I feel like Sam Darnold is a similar enough quarterback to where he could fill in. I don't know how well he knows the offense or anything. So I'm going 49ers winning, but I think the Bengals could win too. This is similar to the Browns Seahawks. You know, I couldn't really pick out exactly who I thought was going to win. So we got 3.5 point spread. I got the Bengals covering, 49ers winning. Moving on to the next one, we got Bears Chargers. I have not gotten a single pick, not one, right about the Bears this year. And I was looking at this and I had the Chargers just absolutely boat racing the Bears. And then I looked and I was like, when's the last time the Chargers had like a big win? So I looked, the last time the Chargers had won by more than one score, so 8 points, was late last year. So it was late last year. They had 2 games to end the season against the Rams and the Colts, who were not very good teams. Both got very low picks last year. And then in the last 3 years, they've only won 6 games by 2 scores. So I look at the -8.5 and I go, with how Tyson Bagent played last week, he made the right throws, and obviously the Chargers are going to be able to look at film and plan a little bit for it. The more tape any team gets on the Bears, the more they're going to know about Bagent. But I feel like he has enough to at least keep him in the game, and the +8.5 just seems a little criminal after putting 30 on the healthy Raiders defense and winning by so much there. Whereas the Chargers, they haven't blown anybody out. They haven't. They've even lost games that they probably should have won. So with all that being said, I feel like it makes sense for the Bears to cover here. But I think the Chargers are still going to win because I always pick wrong for the Bears. So I think Chargers are going to win. Bears are going to lose. Chargers are going to score 31. Bears are going to score 24. Covering that spread though, that's Sunday Night Football too. Who thought it could have been flexed, but maybe. For some reason, they chose not to. Maybe they'll do some games later in the season. Raiders-Lions. Raiders, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Even if Jimmy Garoppolo is back, I don't think it matters. Lions coming off a huge loss to the Ravens, so you could argue a little bit there. I just think the Lions going back in at home. Dan Campbell is not happy right now. There's no way he's happy getting boat raced by the Ravens. So MCDC is going to come back in with his team. Instill all the confidence, all the power, all the Detroit in there, and they're just going to do what they did, do what happened to them last week to the Raiders. So Lions win 31-10, covering the 8.5 point spread. And then here's my record. It's been slowly going downhill. We had 8-8, 10-6 a couple weeks, 9-7, 8-6, 5-9, 4-9. It's not looking good. I'm almost even. This is all season record is just wins and losses. So that's just like picking money line essentially. And then against the spread, we're doing absolutely awful. 46 and 59. So not very happy about that either. I talk about it every week. The better rushing team record. I look at the yards and yards per carry and choose who is the better team in that category. So if it's close in yards, I'll give it to the better yards per carry. Or if one team just has a few more yards, but the yards per carry is significantly better, I give it to that team. And that team is 77-28 this year. Good way to pick games. And I keep talking about it and how smart it would be to factor that in, and I don't factor it in for whatever reason. So maybe I should probably do that. I think is a good idea. Good idea, Jerry. Do that moving forward. But as of right now, I would love to be 77-28. So maybe we'll factor that in, considering that I put it on the screen. So thank you for watching. Let me know down below what you think I got wrong, or maybe about some of my picks from previous weeks, because I don't know if you watch my takeaway videos, but there's some games where I've almost been spot on with the scores, despite my shitty record. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.